Welcome to the first smartwatch module V13. This smartwatch module refers to an actual case prosecuted before the United States Patent and Trademark Office, also referred to as the USPTO, as are all the office actions found on the Patent Shark website. Now, let us look at the materials of this case. Once again, welcome Shark. Before starting the first smartwatch module, V13, please make sure that you have read the materials of the smartwatch in the following recommended sequence. Please read the specification and drawings at the same time, as the specification refers to and describes the drawings. Then, please proceed to the claims. Now, after you get a good sense of the invention, please review the office action issued by the examiner at the USPTO. The office action cites all the rejections based on a number of references. The references are patents and/or patent publications that are used to reject the claims. Please carefully review the primary references as well as all the secondary references. Now, let us begin the analysis of this case. So what are the issues or deficiencies with current smartwatches? As noted in the background section of the smartwatch application, a variety of portable user devices provide wireless network connectivity. Various features of a device often require a user to access the device at inconvenient times to perform a desired function. As a result, a user may simply not employ the device to its fullest capabilities. So how does this patent address those prior issues? The present smartwatch provides a user with the capability to access one or more functions of the device in real time and derive information from one's immediate environment in real time. So, based on this, in your opinion, what are the patentable features of this invention? In other words, what is the point of novelty? It appears that capturing images within one's immediate environment and displaying such images, as well as additional information related to such images, may be novel or unique. Another unique aspect may be that the flip-up portion includes an inner display for displaying a set of information and an outer display for displaying another different set of information. So do the independent claims capture the patentable features? The answer is yes, it appears so. This is something we're going to discuss in more detail below. So based on instinct and what you know about smartwatches, do you think that this invention is patentable? In other words, is it unique enough to deserve a patent? At first glance, it does seem that way, right? For example, the smartwatch includes a viewfinder to display information received from the wireless network regarding an image within the viewfinder, while the image is still visible within the viewfinder. The top display displays a first set of information for viewing, and the inside display displays a second set of information for viewing, which is different from the first set of information. And the first set of information is being considered acceptable for public viewing by a user. So are the patentable features shown in the figures? Can the unique elements be readily identified by looking at the figures? Yes. For example, let's go back to the drawings of the present application. Figure 2 illustrates the flip-up portion in the closed position. Figure 3 illustrates the flip-up portion in the open position. Figure 4 illustrates the smartwatch in an application where a user receives product information from the smartwatch, whereas Figure 5 illustrates the smartwatch in an application where a user receives directional information as opposed to product information in Figure 4 from the smartwatch. Thus, it appears that the elements or features described in the specification are shown in the figures. So, what do you think? Was this patent application written by a patent attorney, or was it written by a layperson A patent attorney did write this application, as evidenced by the quality of the detailed description. It also meets the description and enablement requirements and really sufficiently describes the invention. So the name of the game is the claim. Why are the claims so important? The claims define the subject matter protected by the invention. The claims also define the scope of protection conferred by the patent. The detailed description portion of the application may describe several different concepts, ideas, features. However, the claims delineate the specific features that define the limits or boundary or perimeter of the invention. The claims warn others of what they must do if they are to avoid infringement. Therefore, one can say that the claims serve a dual purpose. That is, 1, they demonstrate patentability, and 2, the claims define what would constitute infringement. Well, let's visit the claims of the present invention. In particular, let's look at the independent claims. An independent claim stands alone and contains a preamble as well as all the elements necessary or essential to define the invention. Claims 1, 5, and 13 are in independent form in this case. Claim 1 recites a smartwatch comprising a wristband, a base including a housing, a processor, and a wireless transceiver, a tactile user interface, a flip-up portion, which includes 2 elements, a top display and an inside display, and lastly, a camera that's coupled to the flip-up portion, the flip-up portion forming a viewfinder for the camera, and is configured to display information regarding an image within the viewfinder. Claim 5 is similar to Claim 1, but is of varying scope. For example, Claim 5 does not include an element found in Claim 1. This element is a camera. Claim 13 is also similar to Claim 1, but is of varying scope again. For example, Claim 13 does not include elements found in Claim 1, and these elements are a top display and an inside display, as well as a tactile user interface. Therefore, Claims 5 and 13 are actually broader than Claim 1, as they require less elements or features than Claim 1. After reviewing the specification, the drawings, and the claims, let's look at the office action. And specifically, let's look at the first rejection to the claims issued by the examiner, and which was based on 1 reference. So let's focus our attention on the single reference used to reject Claim 1. The detailed rejection can be found at page 2 of the office action and will be discussed in detail in a subsequent module. The reference is the Cheng reference, which was issued U.S. Patent Publication Number 2009/0069045. When an examiner uses a single reference, it is referred to as a 102 rejection. This is also referred to as anticipation rejection. Essentially, a 102 rejection states that one reference discloses each and every feature of the claims. Now, the examiner applied the Cheng reference to disclose all of the elements of Claim 1. A wristband, a base, the base including the housing, the processor, and the wireless transceiver, as well as a tactile user interface, and a flip-up portion having both the top display and the inside display. Therefore, according to the examiner, Cheng teaches or suggests all of the elements of independent Claim 1. The examiner applied another rejection at page 4 of the office action, the second rejection. The examiner rejected Claims 10 and 11 over the applied combination of Cheng and Mihara. Thus, the examiner combined two references to reject claims 10 and 11. When an examiner combines references, it is referred to as a 103 rejection, or obviousness rejection. The examiner stated that Cheng discloses all the elements of the claims except for one element. The examiner relied on Mihara to cure the deficiencies of Cheng, in other words, to disclose the remaining element. The examiner stated that Mihara teaches a manner in which the inside display is operated when the cover is opened and closed, something which is not shown in Cheng. The examiner applied another rejection at page 5 of the office action, the third rejection. The examiner rejected claims 1 to 4, 13 to 15, and 19 over the applied combination of Cheng and Sato. Thus, the examiner combined two references to reject claims 1 to 4, 13 to 15, and 19. The examiner stated that Cheng discloses all the elements of the claims except for one element. The examiner relied on Sato to cure the deficiencies of Cheng, in other words, to disclose the remaining element. The examiner stated that Sato teaches a flip-up portion forming a viewfinder for the camera when in the open position and displays information regarding an image within the viewfinder. Well, let's see if the examiner is right, and let's focus our efforts on the first rejection, the 102 rejection, which is the anticipation rejection by Cheng. Let's look at the set of elements in the figures of Cheng. On the left-hand side, figure 5 of Cheng depicts a wristband and a tactile user interface. On the right-hand side, figure 6 of Cheng depicts a flip-up portion. Therefore, it seems that the examiner is correct. Cheng does teach or suggest these elements as evidenced by at least figures 5 and 6 of Cheng. Now, let's look at the third rejection too, since independent claim 1 was rejected again. In the third rejection, the examiner applied the combination of Cheng and Sato to reject the claims. In particular, Sato was applied by the examiner to teach a camera, which was not shown in Cheng. The figure of Sato shown depicts a camera 10 on a cell phone or mobile device. Therefore, it appears that the examiner is correct. Sato does teach or suggest this remaining element, as evidenced by the figure of Sato. As a result, the applied combination of Cheng and Sato does teach or suggest all of the elements of independent claim 1. Now, let's also look at the second rejection. In the second rejection, the examiner rejected a set of dependent claims only, those being claims 10 and 11. Specifically, in the second rejection, the examiner applied the combination of Cheng and Mihara to reject the claims. The examiner stated that Cheng does not teach an element or feature of claims 10 and 11. Therefore, the examiner introduced another reference in combination with Cheng in order to teach all of the features of claims 10 and 11. The examiner introduced the Mihara reference to accomplish this. The examiner stated that the Mihara reference teaches or suggests a manner in which the inside display is operated when the cover is opened and closed. Well, let's look at the figure. Mihara teaches or suggests an inside display 106 that is on and off depending on whether the hinge 101 is in an open or a closed position. Now, further details are provided in detailed description of the Mihara reference. After careful examination, it seems that the examiner is correct. Mihara does teach or suggest this remaining element, as evidenced at least by figure 6 of Mihara. As a result, the applied combination of Cheng and Mihara does teach or suggest all of the elements of dependent claims 10 and 11. Now, do you see the differences between the present invention and Cheng? And what are the features of the present invention that are not shown by Cheng? And in view of Cheng, do you still believe that this invention is patentable? Again, think about these questions as you attempt to complete your first assignment. Now that was regarding independent claim 5. Independent claim 1 relates to Cheng and Sato. Now, do you see the differences between the present invention and the combination of Cheng and Sato? And what are the features of the present invention that are not shown by this combination of Cheng and Sato? Additionally, in view of this combination of Cheng and Sato, do you believe that the present invention is patentable? Again, think about these questions as you attempt to complete your first assignment. And last but not least, let's look at the combination of Cheng and Mihara regarding dependent claims 10 and 11. Again, do you see the differences between the present invention and this combination of Cheng and Mihara? What are the features of the present invention that are not shown by this combination of Cheng and Mihara? And also, in view of this combination, do you still believe that this invention is patentable? And once again, think about these questions. In the meantime, let's conclude the first module for the smartwatch. Congratulations, Shark! V13 is complete. Please proceed to V14 in the materials provided to you. Thank you.